Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason and the channel is the Everyday Card Collector. I am here with my buddy Aaron and we are doing episode 12 of Mount Rushmore. So kind of getting back in the swing of things, right, my friend?
Yeah, it's been a quick minute, but we are definitely a have fun and no stress, no pressure kind of vibe. So here
Absolutely,
we go.
absolutely. I'm excited about this one. We've got a guest on who I know you've spoken through texts and whatnot several times. Recently started a channel. So I think this is his first collaboration and got a lot of traction with his first video. So I'm excited to get him on. Why don't we jump him in and then we'll or do you want to discuss what we're doing here first before we jump him in?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're finally. I feel like we're finally getting enough consistency. Well, at least enough history, maybe not consistency. But yeah, there's episode 12 now. So Mount Rushmore's what we do, and what we aim to do is pick out our top four. Obviously, our guest will jump in and present theirs. But as we go through the top four, if we match, we'll all show. If we don't, we'll just continue going around until we've revealed our entire list, and then of course we bring honorable mentions. So this is definitely a topic where we have a whole lot of honorable mentions because it's a tough one.
Absolutely. This is probably the most cards I've ever pulled for any one of our episodes. So
yeah,
should be a good time. All right. Well, with that being said, let's get our guest on. And our guest is Trevor from Blue Collar Cards. Trevor, how are you, my friend?
I'm all right. How's everybody doing?
Very good, sir.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us, man. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be on.
Absolutely. I know you and Aaron were talking kind of on the side before we put it all together, and catchers was kind of the decided topic, correct?
Yeah, that works.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's just, you know what? There's so many ways to go with this, and when I started digging in on the stats on some of these guys, there's a fine line between top honorable mentions and top four, in my opinion. So yeah, it should be fun. So as usual, we typically let the guests go first, Trevor. So you've got a Mount Rushmore. You don't have to put them in order if you want. If you do, you can, or if you want, you can, but you don't have to. But why don't you give us your first honor or your first catcher on Mount Rushmore?
Well, played for my favorite team, so it's got to be Johnny Bench.
Absolutely. Beautiful 69. I love that card.
And I like this card almost as well as the 69.
I agree. I love that set. The 70 set. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
And then I went ahead and pulled 71.
Actually, I have that and didn't pull it. So now that I think, maybe I did. I don't think I did.
And then one I think everybody thinks is one of his better cards.
100%. That is a beautiful card.
He's got a lot of amazing cards.
Yeah, and that's one I need to add.
So
I mean, I think that if we're talking Mount Rushmore at this specific moment in time for this position, I'd have to say that that's probably number one on most people's lists.
I'd say one or two on most people's lists.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I did a little research on him. 2-time MVP, right? Rookie of the Year, 14-time All-Star, 2-time World Series, 10 Gold Gloves. I've got everything jotted here. World Series MVP, Major League Player of the Year. 75.1 WAR, which is a pretty big WAR. I know we go beyond WAR when we talk on this channel, or when we talk on this show, but that's a pretty hefty WAR for a catcher. Wouldn't you guys say?
Yeah,
I think is he the highest for a full-time catcher?
I think so. I think so. I didn't verify that, but from when I was digging in, I think he is.
Yeah, I think he's number one. So
yeah, 2-time career 267 batting average. I mean, just model of consistency. 17 years in the league. I agree with Trevor. Definitely. Do you agree with Trevor? Is he on your Mount Rushmore, Aaron?
He definitely is, and I tried to scale it back on what I picked. So I'll show this one because I think even later career you get some really fun stuff. So you get some like bench and Seaver, and that's actually I've had some folks say like I wish you'd mentioned costs, like that might be a dime. So if you're looking for a way to get a bench, you can pick one up for pocket change. I also grabbed the 69. Always looking for weird stuff, so I grabbed an O-Pee-Chee for little bit of a variation. These are cool too.
Yes.
70 top-esque.
Yeah. That's one I did add.
Yeah, I think the 70 Kellogg's is super cool. And this one I showed recently, and folks seem to think it was fun. So I'll have to hold this one a little bit further back. But
Yeah.
the 1950 to 70 advisory staff is super cool. So it's neat that it's 50 to 70 because obviously with the 68 being his rookie, he would have had a much later presentation in that series. But yeah, Rawlings advisory. So yeah, I don't know how you don't put Johnny Bench on Mount Rushmore if you're doing catchers. That's insane.
Right. Now there was, Aaron, we talk a lot, and I remember you and I talking about a set where it was kind of like a pre-rookie set of his. Was it the Cons? Is it the Cons?
I think it's a 68 con still, but yeah, that's on the hunt list for sure.
Yeah. That's a big card for him and a great card. I 100% I rattle off the stats quickly. So we've got a 68 rookie.
Nice.
Then I kind of went the route of you, Aaron. Same set that you just showed.
Nice.
Just not the exact same card. And then I went a little bit newer, 74, but there's 74 Kellogg's.
Nice.
So I went with some of his later stuff. I was digging, and I actually, Aaron knows I'm typically last minute, Trevor, but I took care of this early, and I was pulled by the weekend. So I found one of these Dunross, these oversized Dunross cards, which I thought was great. This is a beautiful card. Shows him as a young fella and then older in his career.
Those are cool.
And then the last one I pulled was just 83. So that's what I pulled. I have a few more, and I was getting so nutty. I've got so much share already. I'm like, I got to back off on kind of pulling everything. So, but yeah, definitely. I would say much like Trevor said, one or two on most people's list. If I was ranking, and I kind of always do when I do this, Johnny is my one. So that's that I put him at the one spot. And we all agree. So we've all got three left. So Aaron, we'll let you go next. Who's two on your list, or another player on your Mount Rushmore?
Well, my strategy is usually to draw out the ones that I think other folks might have. So I'm going to go with one that I would hope everybody would have. Let me find a fun one here. I will go with the 1955 All-American Sports Club of Mr. Yogi Berra.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think Yogi, three-time MVP, lower WAR. I mean, when you get into some of the stats of it all, I'll have to pull up his stats here to get in front. But
yeah, he's 59.4 WAR.
You got it. Yeah. 285 career?
This is a stat where it's hard not to include Yogi. Obviously, baseball is a team sport. He was in 14 World Series, and he won 10 of them. So how do you? I mean, I don't care. How big the league was. I don't care. We know who the Yankees were. He won 10 World Series, so that's insane to me. So that's what they play the game for. So that has to count for something in my mind.
Right.
I would think, yeah. And he has. I mean, I think too. Even being a little bit of a card presentation, I think he's got so many iconic images. So, yes. I mean, that's obviously Bowman. There's oversized items that have that image. Let's skip that one. This one's kind of a neat one.
Is that a Burke Ross?
Yeah. So the Burke Ross, and I liked that one so much. I've not shared this, but I recently got it.
Oh, that's fantastic. Did he sign it, Larry?
Yeah, and that's why I jumped at it. It's really just an oversized reprint, but when I saw signed Larry Berra, I'm like, those are tough. It's tough to find a Larry, so
right.
I jumped at that, and then I'll show another one that I picked up.
That's the Yoo-hoo?
So it's an oversized Yoo-hoo. It's actually not the Yoo-hoo. It's a Yoo-hoo image.
Okay.
This is actually from a friend, Larry, but it's got an autograph on the back. I have the certification kind of covering it just for preservation, but it's actually been autographed on the back. So
yeah, that's very cool. I think you've shown me that in the past. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I think that was just super cool, super unique, not something you see every day. And I go a lot just to accentuate all the autograph stuff. This was just a image that was clipped that he signed. So I like stuff like that just because it's cool, it's different, it's not what everybody else sees every day. So
I tell you, so that was almost like a newspaper clipping, correct?
yeah, it's probably magazine. It's got
Okay.
That's the back of it. So it's just straight up out of a publication of some sort.
I will tell you that I have gone down that rabbit hole, and I think part of that rabbit hole was our buddy off-centered Lenny at Cardcast. He sent me that wonderful advertisement of Nellie Fox promoting BB guns, and I thought that was so fantastic. And I've got one on my saved list that I'll probably pull the trigger on and show that in a future video. But yeah, I've fallen down that hole as well. So still not at the autograph stage, but yeah.
Oh, I think got one of the best autographs.
Yes, 100%.
You can always read them.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, his signature is phenomenal. Yeah, it's a beautiful signature. So good
So the
call.
question is, Trevor, does he fall on your Mount Rushmore?
Oh, he most certainly does.
Yes.
Well, I'll show that.
Beautiful.
Wow, that's a nice one.
And then I have a love-hate relationship with this set. I like them, but only in about a 2 or a 3, maybe up to a 4.
You're speaking our language. That's right.
I just think they look better when they show a little love.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Great card.
Yeah,
that one's beautiful.
I was working on the Hall of Fame run in that set. And then I picked this up at a local card show. And I thought, I normally wouldn't do that, but I went ahead and sent it in. And I couldn't believe that's what they put on it.
And that's the 62, correct?
Yeah, it's 62 post.
Okay.
Very cool.
7.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then I did grab his 65 because I do have, I think I'm down to 1 card needing for that set now.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Wow.
And then I grabbed this thing. It's just the 52 Yankees World Champs exhibit card. He's on the front row right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And those you can typically find at it. I mean, you because of the Yankees, there's that Yankee premium price, but they're still pretty affordable.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Right.
I think exhibits are a lot of times the best value you're going to find for a decent image that isn't one that you're going to have a dining plate if it's graded or a platter size slab.
I agree. You get into those exhibits, I love the wide pens and the fine pens all kind of fall in that same category. I think they're perfect. So
yeah, anything postcard size ish is perfect. Yeah, definitely agree. Well done.
Yes, I will tell you he is on my list. I only have 2 cards of his, and to kind of fill are with me. I might have, I know I have more, but I didn't pull them all. A lot of his later stuff is a manager. To fall in line with Trevor, he went 62 post. I'll go 63.
Nice.
So blank back, little schmutz on the back, which is perfect. And then his 54.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, and a beautiful 2, just like you were saying, Trevor. You're speaking our language with those numbers. So, but yeah, I think again, the consensus when you had said it earlier, Trevor, bench would either be 1 or 2. I assume you meant Yogi was the other one,
right?
Yeah.
So well, and you were talking about him having 10 championship World Series rings, basically. Always, I teach apprentices at our training facility, and we'll get to talking about sports, and they always talk about who's the GOAT in football, and they'll say Tom Brady, and I'll say why, and they say, well, he's got the most Super Bowl wins, and I said, okay, who's the best baseball player? And they'll name some. I said, no, it's Yogi Berra, because 10 World Series rings as a player. And then I'm like, well, who's the best basketball player? And they'll say Jordan. I say, not by your parameters. It's
Bill Russell with 11.
Yeah. According to your standard, the championships are the only thing that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if that's why I always say it counts for something, it doesn't count for everything.
Right.
You know, specifically because every sport we're talking about is a team sport, right? So
Yeah.
they're not doing things alone. Now, if you're a golfer and you're Jack Nicklaus and you've got 18 majors,
Yeah.
all right, is Tiger the greatest? No, maybe not, because Jack's got 18 majors and he did it by himself, didn't have any help. So,
Right.
yeah, it's interesting. All right, so we're all in agreement here, which we're 2 for 2.
Can I toss in a Yogi interesting fact?
100%.
Because I think where we get lost on some of I think the catcher thing, it was almost disappointing to go through and look at the wars and things like that, because once you get past bench in the 70s, everyone else is like 50s and 40s. And by today's standards, that's like almost a criticized Hall of Famer, but I think we've changed our metrics. And I think the appreciation of catchers used to be so much greater. I looked at Yogi's peak, 7 years. This is where he ended in the MVP voting for a 7-year run. Third, first, fourth, second, first, second.
So no lower than fourth, and how many firsts?
3 firsts and 2 seconds.
Right. Yeah. So that's
5
insane.
years he was one of the 2 best players, and the other years he was 3rd and 4th. I mean, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. And he was a 17-year career as well, correct? As a player, I think.
That sounds super right. They say 19, but
Okay.
1 year was 7 games. His last year was 4. So you're right, 17 that were anything real.
Right. Okay, That makes sense. So we are in agreement. I think this is where we'll start to stray a little bit. Maybe we will.
Yeah.
I'm up for our third guy, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll rattle off the stats first. Rookie of the Year, 11-time All-Star, 1 Gold Glove, 3 Silver Sluggers, 68.5 WAR with 2,356 hits, 376 home runs, and almost a 270 batting average, 269. Pulls at my heartstrings a little bit because of some of the teams he played for. The original Pudge, Carlton Fisk. So the stat about him that I enjoyed the most, held the record for many, many years for the most games played as a catcher until Pudge 2 came along, Ivan Rodriguez. So I pulled a bunch of his newer stuff. I don't have a ton of his 70 stuff, although I just showed a 70. What I just showed, I don't even know, 76. But I do have some fun stuff that might be a little bit different. So this is a fun one, and this was actually a gift. And it's a Drake's cookie. So I thought that was that's a fun card. And then the infamous flare that you could probably find in a nickel box in most spots. And these, again, speaking of off-center Leonard, these were gifts from him. Fantastic cards of my guy Carlton. But these are O-Peaches. So
cool.
A little bit different. And the funny thing is, I think I have one graded card of his. I think I have the 81 tops traded, and I didn't even pull it because that's his first card as a White Sox. And I didn't even pull it now that I'm looking around here. So, but yes, I think he's deserving of being there. He was a model of consistency, and sometimes that goes as a negative, i.e. Harold Baines, but he was definitely not a Harold Baines. Well deserved of all the accolades he received. And I will say this. I have him at 3, again, maybe for some personal reasons because he played for the White Sox. There was a guy that I was going to swap out when we get to honorable mentions that has very, very similar stats to him that could very well be in the top 4. And I think my 4th might differ from a couple people. So that's so 3 was my guy. So my question to you guys, and we'll start with Trevor, does Carlton Fisk make your list?
He did not make but he is my first honorable mention.
Okay, cool. Why don't you show what you got then? That's perfect. Yeah, there's the rookie. Perfect.
I would, from my childhood, he is one of the top 3 catchers I've seen play.
Sure.
And that would be Bench and him and another honorable mention.
Yes, which I think we'll all kind of agree on. I have a hunch.
I think if you had any of those 3 catchers on your team, you were set up for success.
Okay. That's interesting. I can't wait to start to get in the honorable mentions because I think we're talking about the same guy. Did he make your list, Aaron?
I would think. He does not.
What, you're a Sox
So
fan, Aaron? How does he not make your list?
I know, and I did pull. He's definitely honorable mention. I mean, that classic '87 tops, where that's my childhood. That would have been a treasured one to find in a pack. 74, so
Yep.
representing early career. He's got some great looking cards too. And actually, I pulled my most expensive Carlton Fisk. You might know what this one is.
That no Peachy?
Nope.
Oh,
It's
that's the blacklist.
Yeah. It's the blacklist. There's no black.
Yep.
Those are tough. Yeah, so I've got the with his name, normal one, and I've got the no name blacklist version. So
I need to add that. But they're not cheap. I don't think they're cheap.
no, they're not cheap at all. Yeah, they're tough to find. I mean, they're not crazy, but for a Carlton Fisk 82 tops, they're insane.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
Probably go for the same as a 10 to be fair, because I don't know what those go for, but silly.
Yeah, I don't buy 10s. That's against my every fiber of my being.
Yeah, you can't do it.
All right, so we'll go back to Trevor then, right? So we've each got one. I've got 3 of my guys called out, so Trevor can go next for one of his 3 or one of his 2 that he has left.
All right. I'll show the first card of this player that I purchased myself.
Can't be beautiful. One of my favorite sets of all time.
And then I got the 52 Wheaties.
Great. I'm a sucker for Wheaties.
Yeah, good stuff.
And like I said, love-hate relationship. I love them. So
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then I got the 59.
Great card.
Yeah. And then just because we're an oversized specialist, we'll go with the
beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So does he now? I don't have the stats on Campy. I didn't pop up any stats on him. Does he make your list, Aaron?
So actually, let me pop up his stats real quick. Okay. So I actually pulled stats on like 9 guys. He was by far the toughest because his career, they kind of include Negro leagues, and then he goes Negro leagues to like minor leagues. So he's got some gap of time there where they just don't really even count, and it's really like prime, early career age stuff. So he's kind of in the majors about the age that he should be in his peak, but he misses. I mean, he's 26 when he's a MLB rookie,
right?
And he's had some dominating years previously. So they call it a 35.7 WAR in his major league run, 42 WAR overall. But I mean, some of those seasons were 30 some games, so it's very tough to analyze. I didn't put him on my list. I do have some cards, of course. He's definitely an honorable mention for me. The one thing that is crazy is when you look at his dominance, 3 MVPs, but he almost had like a Brett Saberhagen-esque run.
Right. Quick.
When I say that, yeah, his batting average is 325 MVP, 269, 312 MVP, 207, 318 MVP. Every other year, he was going to be the guy. The other years, he was probably going to be an all-star, amazing defense, still has some power, drives and runs. But he took the dip. The 2-0 something was kind of an outlier, but 260 still solid with some power. But yeah, I just thought super crazy interesting. I was trying to think of some things that either I haven't shown or I haven't shown in a while. So I do have his early Bowman. So
great card.
That's a cool one. Got the BVG discount.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll take that every day I can find it. That was my Strongsville round 1 pickup.
Great card.
So
love to have it.
Yeah, I mean, and I've had a couple of people message and say, say what you spent on a card. That was $250.
Was that a pet? Was Petty involved in that?
No, he was Hires Aaron.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, that one was just in a dealer table. It kind of like smashed in the corner of his display, and I was like, "What's that thing?"
Right.
And then, of course, I did snag this thing too, which is
Yes.
Yeah.
kind of
The reason I mentioned Petty is I think Petty bought that off of God, I'm trying to remember who he bought it off of. It'll come to me, but I remember him buying that at one of the hangouts. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Super, super cool. But yeah, Campy for me was strong honorable mention. 3 MVPs is hard to not make the Mount Rushmore.
Correct.
Yeah.
He's definitely hit my honorable mention. I'll start it off with something I bought not that long ago. I was at a flea market up at my cottage in Wisconsin and rummaging through a guy's cards, and he had a bunch of modern, but it was modern cards of previous players, and these were like, I don't know, quarter a piece. So I grabbed it. I'm like, that's a cool card. Great image. To be in line with Trevor.
Yeah.
There we go. BVG discount and the first official card I bought off of my good friend Joe. This was the first card I ever bought off of Joe, and now there's a large part of my collection is the From Joe collection. So, and then lastly is this 54 Bowman, and that was a gift from my daughter for Christmas, I believe. So yes, I think relevance and importance of when he came into the majors, coming from the Negro League, being a bridge player. That accounts for something too in my world. So I think that has to be something that's recognized as well. I just thought, again, a little sporadic with the career. 3 MVPs is phenomenal, and then longevity of career, maybe he gets dinged a little bit for that, unfortunately. But because, like you said, what did he come in at 26 as a rookie? But I think his place in history is extremely important and definitely deserves to be at minimum an honorable mention. I have no problem with Trevor putting him on the Mount Rushmore. I could see there's an argument for that. So I totally see that. So, all right. Well, I've got 3. Trevor's got 3. Who's your third, Aaron?
Oh, we're up to that. All right. Well, you'll know who this is. This is not a surprise. So, career 56.4 WAR, 127 OPS, 313 average, couple hundred home runs. Just under 2,000 hits. Played 17 years, it says, but year 1 was 10 games. Year 17 was 54. And he had a couple of seasons with 80-something. A couple of years military service towards the end as well. So he didn't quite get to, finish off some of the counting stats, but he's absolutely one of my favorites. He is best friend to Lou Gehrig and mentor to one of our slam dunk guaranteed Yogi Berra. So I think when you have all that going for you, you got to put Bill Dickey in there. So
yeah,
I think he's a one-time MVP runner-up, if I remember. But 1932 U.S. Caramel. He's one I definitely collect intensely. I love his story. I love kind of all the things. Prior to the Yankees, he's actually in the movie. Like, that's just so cool. So
I love that card. That's climbing quickly, by the way.
37 O-Pee-Chee, 36 Worldwide Gum. Those are all like just crazy cool sets.
Yep, correct.
And this next one too, I picked this up. I think this was my first from the set. And this set it does it for me. This is exactly what I look for. It's 1933 Warsh. That's, there's some of them have dozens, but I don't think anybody has 30 or 40 even graded, maybe.
Right.
They're really, really tough. A lot of them are still in the teens. So yeah, absolutely love having Bill Dickey on my Mount Rushmore.
He was again significance in mentoring Yogi, and numbers are definitely significant. He was on my radar, but I have him as an honorable mention. Much like the Campy I just showed, this one I got up at my cottage, so it's a modern card of him, but I love the image. And then I've got his 39 play ball, which nice. I think is a great image. And then lastly, of course, I got to show one of these, right? Her 39 Gaudi premiums, which we love. So beautiful image, beautiful back. So again, if we say, I'm going to have probably everyone we rattle off is probably going to hit an honorable mention after my last guy, and I probably have them sitting here in some way, shape, or form. but definitely deserved of, again, I don't argue if he makes your top 4. I can see the argument for that. Does he hit your top 4? Is he your last player, Trevor?
No, I have him as an honorable mention, mostly because I only have one card of his.
Sure.
I thought this is more fun if you got more cards to show. So I've got a different Hall of Famer, questionable Hall of Famer maybe as my 4th. But here's my Bill Dickey card. It's a 1936 S&S game card.
We were just talking about that set. Aaron and I were saying, hey, what do you know about when I was looking at Actually, the card I was looking at was another catcher. So
there is a variation with a tan back in that also. So.
Okay.
But
That's fantastic.
All
right, so we're all at 3, right? Am I up for my 4th? I guess I'm, because you just won, Aaron. So this is where I think we're going to stray a little bit. I think the numbers are there. I think the accomplishments are there. I'll rattle it off. 1-time MVP, 14-time All-Star, 13 Gold Gloves, 7 Silver Sluggers, NLCS MVP, 68 WAR with 2,800, just over 2,800 hits, 311 home runs, and a 296 average. He also holds the record for most games played as a catcher. He overtook Pudge, and he is mini Pudge, if you will. So I think his numbers are there to definitely be on the Mount Rushmore. I rattled off, or I grabbed a bunch of his stuff. Typically in our world, he is modern, right? So this is, so, there are some of these cards, I don't even know where I got them or what they came from. This is cool. Little die cut.
Yeah.
Just a beautiful card. And then this is when he was with the Tigers towards the end of his career. A couple out of that set. But I definitely think now, that being said, we go into that gray area of he was in an era where substances were used to enhance performance, and he is one of them. So that's where you get into a gray area. I just think the numbers over the span of his career are just, they're there, and he's deserving of it. There are several other players sitting on my desk right now that I considered putting in front of him, but when I started to dive in the number, I love the Flair medals. Those are great cards. Sorry, I'm not talking much about the cards because I've got lots of them, so I'm just rapid firing here. And there's my last one that I grabbed. So I just think the numbers are there. I can look past did he or didn't he? Was he involved with that or not? It's funny. I think we had a conversation on this not too long ago, Aaron. It's funny how we look at that. Some people get the pass and some people don't. And does he get the pass? I guess he gets the pass in my mind. I don't think he was ever proven, correct? I don't think
neither was Bond.
Yeah.
What's that?
Neither was Bond.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right, exactly. So, right. Ortiz wasn't he? And he's in the Hall.
I knew I was getting lit up the other night when I threw David Ortiz out there. But
That's what it was. That's what it was. That's right.
I did that to prove that point. I could have done Rodriguez. I could have done Ortiz. I could have done Piazza. I could have done any of those guys that are like ish, maybe. I mean, it's Bond, Scarlet Letter, but those guys are in.
Well, those substances weren't banned by baseball for a long time.
Correct.
After all that started.
Yep.
No.
So,
the only thing I will say is they weren't banned from baseball at the time, but they were illegal to use as a substance in the United States in general. So, so that's the interesting thing.
Yeah. My thing is, if just put a plaque up, says players that played between this time and this time, substances were used, view any and all statistics with that in mind and make your own opinion up.
Right.
But the thing I still go back to, because it's always the hitters everybody wants to poo-poo the most, is to hit a home run, to get a hit, you have to hit a round object with another round object squarely. And that is very hard to do. I don't I don't care how strong you are. If you can't do that, you're not, and you don't have to be off by much to not hit a home run.
Correct. And some people say the hardest thing to do in sports is hit a baseball, right?
Absolutely.
Round ball, round object coming at you at 95 miles an hour. So
if you fail 7 out of 10 times, you're in the Hall of Fame. So that's pretty impressive.
Correct. Actually, that's absolutely correct. So I would assume he's not on either of yours. Is he on yours, Trevor?
No, he's not.
And did he make an honorable mention?
I honestly, I was thinking more vintage. I was more vintage.
Sure.
But if I had more of an open mind, he probably would have been on the honorable mention because he was a good catcher and was on a lot of good teams and responsible for a lot of their success, with the job he done behind the plate and with the bat. So
I think of my 4, because that tops me out of my 4, he is the second highest WAR overall.
Yeah.
Not by much, but he is. And, obviously bench and then Pudge Jr., if you will. I'm certain he didn't make your list, Aaron. Did he make your list?
I have him as an honorable mention.
Look at that.
But he's definitely not on Mount Rushmore. Yeah, I've got a couple of his. I put a couple back, but I have a couple of them.
Oh, you do? I thought he'd be the one where you only had one of.
Yeah, no, I have several. Just that was probably tail end. So I mean, it's probably rookie kind of stuff. I've got some 92s and things, but that's about the end of me collecting much.
Well, yeah, that's the other issue. I don't know that I even have any of his cards. So
right. Well, shoot. All right, so that's my 4. We'll take it back to Trevor. Who's your last guy on your Mount Rushmore, Trevor?
Well, it's a homer pick. The guy is a Hall of Famer, and but he plays for Cincinnati. So I went with Ernie Lombardi.
All right.
Very good.
Fastest man in baseball.
Yeah. I've got the Caddy there, and then the Diamond Stars, and that's the Arrow one. So that's Ernie.
Oh, nice.
And then I've got his 41 W711-2, which was a team issued card, I believe.
Oh, that's cool.
That's very cool.
It gives his 5-year stats on the back. In 35, his average was 343. 36, it was 333. 37, it was 334. In 38, he averaged 342 and won the batting championship and the MVP for the league that year. And then in 39, he averaged 286.
All right, that's hard not to argue for that. Then just hearing that, I didn't look up his stats, but just hearing that, I'm like, oh, that's pretty impressive.
And then of course I had to go with an exhibit.
Beautiful.
That's awesome.
And then I had to go with something in a dinner platter. So I went with a R312.
There you go.
That's a fantastic set. It's catching a lot of love.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that set all over the place on YouTube with a lot of guys. I know Mike Jayhawk just picked up the Mize, and a lot of love on that set.
Oh,
so my question, Aaron, did he make your list?
I definitely pulled a representation for him. That era is so tough, and I will say one of the things that I did is I tried to grab who I might have considered to be the best from eras. But this is by far the toughest. I think in his era it was bench. In his era it was Berra. Campanella only penalized because he didn't have a long enough attempt for both racism and car accidents. I mean, there was a lot of things that held Campanella back. But this era, there was, and my honorable mentions, they're almost all that era. So, yeah, I picked Dickey, but Lombardi is by no means a inappropriate choice for sure. Phenomenal player.
Yeah, and actually, he's been on my radar recently, as you know, Aaron. So I've got him as an honorable mention because I have lots of them here, and this is the recent Wheaties that I picked up. Absolutely love this image. I think it's phenomenal. And then just now hearing those stats that Trevor rattled off, now I'm going to have to do a little deep dive on them and dig in a little more. because definitely deserving to be talked about with those stats alone. And that was a 5-year period. So, yeah, I did pull that. I don't have a bunch of his, but he is on my list to pick up a few more cards of his. So we're down to one guy, and that's you, Aaron. Your last guy.
Dang.
Who do we got?
All right. Well, like I said, I've only got one card of one of my picks, and this is the guy. I've got another one on the way, thankfully. But I went with the best of eras. So bench, Berra, Dickey. That gets me back into way back. So I went way back. When you go 19th century, the first Hall of Fame class that had players from that era. First two players voted in were Cap Anson and this guy. And Connie Mack said he was the best player of the era. He said he was the best catcher of the era. Phenomenal player. His stats, when you look at, counting stats were tough. He played catcher. He was actually the first one to crouch behind the plate. So that's how far back it goes. There was no chest protector. There was no face mask. There was no shin guards. I think he kind of started coming up with some shin guard ideas. He started using a bigger glove. They didn't even use a different glove for a while. So he started saying, like, I need something better to be a catcher. But one of the things I did to dive in, so his career WAR, and I'm sure there's folks that probably still don't know who I'm talking about because I don't know if I would have so many years ago. His career WAR is 48. But when he played, a lot of the seasons, he played 81 games, 73 games, 77 games, 99 games. He didn't have a fair shake at it. So I broke it down. And I looked at the analysis. Baseball Reference will do WAR per 162. So if he was afforded a 162 pace, he would add a 5.9 per season, which would have been, I believe, the highest for any catcher that's not Josh Gibson.
Really? Wow.
So he would have actually been first. His per 162 stat line would have been, what is that? Runs, 139 runs, 200 hits, 31 doubles, 22 triples, 9 home runs, 109 RBIs, 303 average, 129 OPS plus.
Yeah, that's solid.
There he is.
Beautiful.
I just went something totally different, and I would have never guessed that I would pick him. I was picking him as an honorable mention because I'm like, let's represent the old guys. And when I started diving in and reading, I'm like, you know what? Maybe the old guys deserve to actually still have a seat there. So,
sure.
Buck Ewing.
Yeah, beautiful card. Absolutely beautiful card.
Yeah,
I love the Buck Ewing sighting. I should have thought about that. I was thinking, Aaron doesn't have a lot of modern. I should have went way back in the Wayback Machine and go, all right, those things get pretty pricey. Maybe he's only got one of those. So
they're just tough to find. So I'd like to cap out at 2 or 3 of his. I've become a bigger fan since we decided to do this show. So
isn't that awesome? That's what this show does. I mean, and I'm not even kidding. Just the fact that Trevor read off those stats, I'm like, all right, I need to dig into Ernie Lombardi a little bit more. I need to give that a shot, right? So that's fantastic.
Yeah, you're like, is that Wade Boggs? What are you doing?
Yeah, well, we all agreed on 2, correct?
2.
Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Let's. I have a bazillion honorable mentions, so we'll let Trevor. You want to rattle off an honorable mention?
Yeah, my first one's Thurman Munson. In my youth, in my lifetime, if you just had bench Munson or the original Pudge, you're pretty well set, I think. Was his 78 tops. I actually like his 73 about the best. I mean, everybody likes one, obviously, but I think that one's neat myself.
A great card. Absolutely great card.
Yeah.
I see. So you got him obviously as an honorable. I see you whipping up. Is that the old Peachy 72, Aaron?
71 O-Pee-Chee for sure.
I'm sorry, 71.
Yeah, no, that rookie cup, that's such a classic. And for him, there was one I missed out on that I wanted, but there's some really cool alternative options with him, and he is priced like a prestigious Hall of Famer. I think his respect level in the hobby and sport are both top notch. So I think even if he's not been recognized as he should be, I think he is respected as he should be. So
yes, I agree. I only pulled one. It is a little bit different. I pulled 76. Nice. So I know a lot of people, aren't really into the food issues, I absolutely love him. So wanted to yank that out. But yeah, I think he gets the respect. I think he belongs in the Hall of Fame, quite honestly, is my true feeling. So you have to have some of him in the collection. I don't have a lot of them. Maybe I have 3 or 4 of his cards, and I didn't want to start digging through binders, so I only pulled that. But definitely worthy of an honorable mention. Do you have one, Aaron? You've got one, and we'll see if we all match, or
yeah, I can. Well, I'll bust out the one I pulled a few for, just because I just got this one in, and I showed it to you. But
yep,
that era, there's really 4 catchers. So that's a Gabby Hartnett. I think that's rookie-ish. That's somewhere pretty gosh darn early in his career. It's early enough that they have him as Chaz L. Harnett. So they didn't even get his name right. Come on, guys. But I looked this up. There's like 19 of these graded, so it's pretty tough. So kind of fun. But I think, and one of the reasons we were excited to do this was all these catching images.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's your leather finish.
Yep, 311.
Yep. There's your team issue from, I think, 31.
That's a beautiful image,
if I'm recalling. And then I've got this blue ribbon malt. Got the Hornsby graded, but I got this one just kind of in a top loader, which is also pretty darn fun. So
that's a sneaky pricey set as well.
There's not too many of those floating around.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
kind
set.
of fun to have. Yeah.
I will tell you, he would have made my honorable mention, as you know, because he's another one high on my list. I don't have any in my collection, and you know what I'm looking at. There's certain cards I'm looking at and certain items. So
yeah.
I love his Dixie Premium.
I've only got one of his, and that's in that 36 S&S game set.
Yeah, which is actually. So we were talking when you showed yours earlier, Trevor. I said, I was talking about that set with Aaron about a week ago. I was looking at the Gabby Hartnett in that set, and I'm like, hey, this is pretty affordable. And and I was showing it to him. I wasn't real familiar with the set, so I've done a little diving on that set. So
yeah,
no, that's awesome. So yeah, I don't have any. My honorable mentions. I think I was gonna pull on my heartstrings a little bit, but I think I gotta throw this guy out there because this is the gentleman I spoke about earlier, whose numbers are right in line or very darn close to Carlton Fisk, and I think we don't talk enough about him. That's Gary Carter.
Yeah,
I think he was right on the edge for me. He's one of my top honorable mentions, and I just pulled a couple, but some phenomenal numbers. I did pull his numbers: 11-time All-Star, 3 Gold Gloves, 5 Silver Sluggers, 2-time All-Star MVP. 86 World Series, obviously, 70.2 WAR. So actually, now that I'm saying that, I said earlier, Rodriguez was my top WAR next to Johnny. Actually, Carter's got a higher WAR. So he's if you look at his hits, if you look at his average, if you look at his homers, very close to everything Carlton Fisk did.
Yeah.
So, and he doesn't quite get the love that Fisk gets. I think that 75 Game 6 World Series cemented Carlton Fisk into baseball history, willing that ball fair. So I think Carter was. I think he's a pretty flamboyant guy. Likes to talk a lot. My understanding is he was going to force himself to be the leader of the team, and maybe that just didn't get the love that Fisk got of a similar era or close to the same era. Well, the same era. So. Yeah. So I thought I'd throw him out there. He's definitely he was right on the edge for me. So
the kid.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you guys either did he make your honorable mention? Either of you?
I don't know that I have any of his cards.
Okay.
Really? All right. I grabbed this one. He's actually a player that I remember as a kid. Like to me, he was the catcher.
Sure.
I think he was the top because Fisk was probably towards the end. Bench was ending. I was more so getting into everything in like 85, 86, 87. So you had, 40-year-old Carlton Fisk still catching. But that was prime Gary Carter, 25 homers, 100 RBIs, successful team. So I found this thing and I pulled this too. Yeah, with any player, I try and find like kind of the weird, unique, so it's autographed and it's got French on it. Look at his Expos uniform. Like, to me, that just checks all the boxes. So I'm like, that's my marquee Gary Carter. It's not super expensive, but that's the
Sure.
thing I look to. I'm like, that's just cool.
And
So,
a great looking image. That image is phenomenal. So
yeah, catcher's catching is good, right? That's just
exactly right.
big
Exactly
old
right.
Expos hat.
So I guess we'll go to Trevor. Who's your next? Do you have another honorable mention?
Yeah, I've got one more. This is a T205 of Lou Krieger. Now,
Nice.
Sticking true to my most recent rabbit hole, he was born in Indiana. He played from he played from 1896 to 1912. He was the Boston Red Sox opening day catcher when they formed. He caught every game of I think it was 1903 World Series. He caught Cy Young's perfect game and his later no-hitter. And he caught the majority of Cy Young's wins. And so I just wanted to show that card of his.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I don't have any of his. I know you got something, Aaron, I'm sure.
I didn't pull him. I mean, his stats. I didn't pull his stats or anything. I didn't even think to pull him, but I have the M1012 with him and Cy Young shaking hands, which is really a cool image.
Yeah.
That's a really cool image.
Well, and he wasn't known for his bat. He was known for his defense. And I guess everything I read, he wasn't a very big person, but I guess he would fight at the drop of the hat if he had to drop his own, you know. So
had a little Eddie Matthews in him. That sounded a little bit like Eddie Matthews.
He just wasn't going to take any guff off anybody. You know?
Sure, absolutely. All right, well, so that's it for Trevor as far as honorable mentions. What do you got rolling, Aaron?
So I have two more I can probably jump to if that's
and we'll see if cool. I match or if I don't match. And
so the first one, I have to pull it again. First one's a 2-time MVP.
High on my list. I don't have any of his stuff, but actually I've got one coming. So I will say I do have one coming, but nothing for this show. But yeah, he was high on my honorable mention list.
Mickey Cochran. So as much as I went through and rattled off, catchers and respect and all that stuff, I started looking at his stats and wondering, how did he win MVP? So the one year, 1934, he finished first. Third was Lefty Gomez, who won the pitching Triple Crown that year. Fifth in MVP was Lou Gehrig, who won the hitting Triple Crown that year. What were they doing?
Yeah, I was just going to say, so what were Mickey Cochran's numbers that he beat both of them?
Mickey Cochran did hit 320. Super cool. He had, I mean, it's going to sound like a joke. He had 2 home runs, 75 RBIs, 140 hits, played 129 games. His OPS plus was 117. I think Gehrig's was like 200.
Okay, that's clearly a mistake in Major League Baseball's part. My gosh.
And I want to say his other MVP was actually just as insane. I want to say like Heine Manouche had like 104 hits more than he did for the season. I mean, it's respect to catchers.
Right.
Whole different category, but I mean, come on. Like Lou Gehrig got Triple Crown.
Right.
Yeah, it's insane. So I don't know. Maybe I'm arguing my way out of MVPs counting for anything. The other one I would show is I've got all Chicago, so I'll end my Chicago run with Ray Schalk, Sox, and coaching for the Cubs.
Yes, sir.
But
yes, sir. Another catcher not known for his bat. Babe Ruth called him the best defensive catcher of his era. W515-2, Ray Schalk.
Nice.
And then Oxford Confectionaries, 1921, Ray Schalk. So definitely now we're getting into my world of pulling on the heartstrings, right? And Ray Schalk's definitely, he's in the Hall of Fame. So whatever you have to say about it, he's in it. So that's I think deservedly so. But those are good calls. I pulled so many guys. I'm going to minimize it. I'll show my 2 quote unquote homer picks. Obviously, everybody knows I love Sherm Lawler. So there's his 50 Bowman.
Yeah.
There's his 57 tops. We'll rapid fire. There's his 52 tops, 54 tops, 58 tops. I'm a Sherm guy. I pick them up everywhere I can. 59. There's his 60. I haven't mixed these up. 63. That's 63 post. I've even got his Salada coin, 63 Salada coin, and then obviously his 53 tops. So he was part of the Go-Go Sox. Yes, sir.
You missed the Manning plan.
Wait, don't you have two of those?
I don't think I have two of these.
Okay, I thought you had two of those.
I think I just have one of them.
Because I was about ready to hit you up, go, hey, if you got an extra one of those.
We might be able to work something out.
But definitely pulls on my heartstrings. Actually, and I didn't look up his stats. I probably should have. Shame on me. Very close. Hall of very, very good. So, in fairness. This next guy is simply pulling on my heartstrings because of the teams that I follow. And I think he needs some love, and I think he's going to get there. Yachty. I just pulled a bunch of Yachty cards. I won't get too nutty. I'll stop after 4. I pulled like 8. So, but Yachty played his career with the Cardinals. What I did pull in doing that, and it is timely as far as news goes. So here we have his brothers, both catchers. And I'm mixing things up. I was going to say I pulled a gentleman and his father passed away. It was Sandy Alomar Sr. just recently passed away. So, and I think I have a Sandy Alomar Jr. somewhere here. So those were my heartstrings. Those are the guys that I pulled some fun stuff. I think Aaron will appreciate this. There's my Paulie Konerko as a catcher. So
Nice.
had to pull that card. Anytime we're talking catchers and I get an opportunity to show that, I'm going to show that.
Yeah.
There's Jimmy Fox. And now we're not rattling off stats. We're just showing off stuff. And there's my Wheaties, 2 of my favorite pieces. But catcher cards nonetheless. So had to definitely show those. So
I did pull that just for the catcher image. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah,
we were talking. The W517 is awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
I did want to share one more. So he definitely doesn't make the Mount Rushmore and probably isn't even an honorable mention at this time. But in honor of my good buddy Eddie at Eddie's Cardboard Chaos, had a phenomenal year this year. 60 home runs, most as a catcher, most as a switch hitter. They were up 2-0 before we started recording this. Julio Rodriguez hit a homer. They're up 2-0 against the Blue Jays, and that's Cal Raleigh. So I wanted to show him some love as a great young player. I enjoy watching him play. I think he plays the game right. And I just want to throw him out there just because maybe I'll show some love to my buddy Eddie at Cardboard Chaos. So, but yeah, he's if he continues on this trajectory, he'll be a shoo-in. But it's going to be pretty tough to continue at this trajectory. That's for sure. So, that's I have others, but I don't want to bore everybody with every catcher card that I pull. That's for sure. So I guess we'll kind of kill it there. No Mike Piazza sightings. None of us did. No Mike Piazza sightings.
I keep sending all mine to Mookie.
There's Piazza. I got Piazza pulled, but
I pulled a few.
I'm fine with leaving him off. The only Dodger I wanted to show is this one.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's fun, right? Yeah, Gil Hodges. So that's a little bit different. So not a catcher, but looks like a catcher. So we'll go. He was a catcher.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
The reason not catchers because of this guy.
That's right. You're exactly right. Yeah.
Does this guy get love? Buster Posey. You know, he's got some numbers. The numbers are there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think he gets in for sure. Yeah.
So just some modern guys that I pulled. I got a shot, and he's not even in the Cardinals uniform. My guy Ted Simmons. So yeah, I pulled a bunch of guys. Had a blast doing this. Have to put all this away. So
yeah.
Had an absolute blast. So I think once again, it's fair to say we're all correct 100% correct.
Yeah.
We hit the number on the head. Anything that you wanted to end with, Trevor? Show any cards or anything you wanted to end with as far as catchers go?
No, I'm good. I had a blast tonight. Thanks for inviting me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for jumping on. Yeah. And, I have a blast doing this every time. I love hanging out with you guys and different people. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. I would ask everybody, please go check out Trevor's channel, Blue Collar Cards. He is new to the community, kind of new as far as channel goes, but has been commenting and talking to people within the community for a while. Please check out his channel and subscribe and enjoy some of his awesome cards because he's got a fantastic collection as well. So,
yeah, awesome focus, awesome knowledge and background story to what he's collecting too. So, yeah,
perfect.
Love the education channels.
That's right, exactly right. So that's perfect. All right, gentlemen. Well, I guess we'll call it there. So I hope everybody enjoyed this, guys. If you stuck around for the hour, I really truly do appreciate it. We had an absolute blast. It's just a bunch of guys talking about cards. Yeah. So until the next episode of Mount Rushmore, we'll see you then. Thanks for jumping on, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.